what'd you think about Goodfellas?
It sucks. And the outro music plays.
I'm gonna start the podcast. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody, to the Extended Cut Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Haley.
And I'm the better half, Ian Clemmer.
You shut up right now.
I didn't mean it.
That's false.
Alright, you're the better half.
I'm the better half. Come on.
I do enjoy this. Especially the part where I watch a movie. I like a movie.
Oh, God. This joke again? This is the second week in a row.
I did this joke last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
You said
no.
I like Drive because I like movies.
It's a pretty good impression.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty good at that.
So,
As you guys can probably tell from the intro, we're covering Goodfellas today, which will be fun because it's one of my favorite films ever.
I absolutely can see that. I love this movie with all my heart.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's not a perfect movie by any means, but it's pretty fun to watch, and that's what makes it one of my favorites. Like, I could watch it every day for the rest of my life and never get bored.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, like whether it's the main characters or not, you always feel like it's a very like real world because all the side characters have their own like all the things they're dealing with, and you see little pieces and fragments of it. It's really immersive. Very
immersive. And the main cast, especially, their performances are just fantastic.
Absolutely.
Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro. Is that how you say it? Robert De Niro?
Yeah, Robert De Niro, I think.
I'm overthinking it.
I'm no expert.
Dude, I don't know how to spell his name. I was writing it down in my notes.
Oh, really? I think it's like, D-E and then space.
That's what I
N-I-R-O?
did. D-E space N-I-R-O.
Is there no space?
I think there is, but I don't know. And then, but the first time I put D-I-N-E-R-O, like I was saying cash in Spanish.
Dinero? Yeah.
Dinero, yeah. But no, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, they all just deliver like the pinnacle mafia performance.
They really do. It's quite lovely.
And it's sad that they're all getting old because who are our new mafia guys going to be? Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, is it Chalamet?
I think we gotta take it upon ourselves to be the next mafia guys.
We have to be the next mafia guys?
I think we can do it.
Okay.
So, quick rundown of the plot. We open up in a scene that's actually later in the movie. I quite like that. It's a pretty excellent choice. And after that, we just kind of walk through the main character, Ray Liotta. We kind of get a walkthrough of his early life, how he got involved with the gangsters. We get a very lovely voiceover, which I think really sets the style for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the movie is a rundown of the famous gangster Henry Hill's life, basically. Starting from when he was a little kid, wanting to like
I think he's like 11 or 13.
And ending in the 80s where he became like a witness and ratted on everybody. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, Ray Liotta plays Henry Hill, and it follows Henry Hill, his wife Karen, and Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. I was gonna say Robert Downey Jr. Robert
Absolutely
De Niro. Not. Yeah, but
yeah, so we get an intro to his early life, and there's lots of freeze frames, which I think is important, because that's a really great part of the movie in terms of, like, stylistic choices. I love it.
I like to think of it as, there's a couple of alternative titles I think of when I think of Goodfellas. I think of Goodfellas, The Art of the Freeze Frame, and then Goodfellas, Tommy Unhinged.
Tommy Unhinged.
Yeah.
It's like Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole movie, we just kind of get a whole walkthrough of basically Henry Hill's, like, not his entire life, because you don't really see him in his old age, but he gets up to what, like 40 or 50?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because it's very fluid in terms of time. Like, there could be a cut, and it's just a jump of like 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. It's really interesting how they pull that off very seamlessly.
The film is a chronicle of Henry Hill's life as he grows up in the mobster world and then ends up leaving the mobster world in fear of them killing him.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole movie, it goes through his first marriage, it goes through him having kids, having an affair, it goes through Tommy DeSimone being made, but psych, it was a it was a
Gotcha.
it was a scheme to whack him. It goes through the Lufthansa heist. Is that how you say it? Lufthansa?
That's probably fine.
Where they stole like $6 million in cash or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It says on Wikipedia 5.875 million was stolen. But you know how Wikipedia be.
It'd be
like that. And as Henry gets older, his life in the mob world kind of falls apart.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely to his fault, though. He definitely makes some horrible decisions. You know, he gets involved with selling drugs, doing drugs, having an affair. He's just goofing around. You know how it be.
Shady stuff, playing with people's emotions. And I don't know if you guys know this about the mafia, but they're kind of emotional people. We'll get into that in a bit.
Lots of crying, lots of holding hands, skipping.
Lots of hugging. Lots of
meatballs.
Therapy sessions like This Is the Sopranos.
Yeah.
We'll get more in depth about the story as we talk about different aspects of the film that we like.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being is this movie isn't really like a here's the plot, here's what's going on movie. Mm-hmm. The plot and the main action, I guess, the main problem is just stuff goes wrong when Henry Hill was a gangster. You know, it's not like the whole movie they're trying to figure out the Lufthansa heist or whatever, however you say that. That's just a little, 10-minute segment of the movie. It's hard to explain a movie where it's like, hey, stuff's just going wrong, you know? But yeah, if you want to kick it off with some fun facts before we get into some stuff.
Michael.
You didn't get any fun facts, buddy?
I didn't. The only fun fact I got was watching the credits. I saw some people were credited as themselves, which I thought was really interesting. So I don't know if they were like main characters that were gangsters that played themselves, or I don't know what the agreement was there, because I know Hank kind of put everyone, or Henry Hill? Henry Hill. He kind of put everyone in prison.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see who the people were that played themselves.
No, I didn't know that. You should definitely look that up right now. Right now, do it.
What do you think I'm doing? What does it look like?
Nothing. Whole lot of nothing. I have a couple of fun facts, and my first one is the reason Joe Pesci's acting is so authentic is because he grew up in an atmosphere where he was surrounded by like actual gangsters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like if you've ever seen The Bronx Tale, or A Bronx Tale, I mean. Mm-hmm. You've never seen that?
I have not.
What are you doing?
I might cry if you insult me again.
But at the beginning of A Bronx Tale, it's like these kids are imitating Sonny, who lives down the street, and he's like a mob boss, and they're like imitating him, or like, hey, who am I doing? And then you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't remember the names, Pizza Roll McGee, like I don't know, but they're imitating the gangsters that live on their block because they look up to them or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Joe Pesci looked up to the gangsters that lived on his block, but I'm sure being in that atmosphere definitely helped him with his role, I guess. Because I mean, he's the most believable one, really. If you think about it, like everything he really says, all of his insults, they just roll out. Like
it feels very naturalistic, like it's very kind of like who he is.
Yeah.
Which is really funny to watch.
Yeah, you take Tommy out of Goodfellas and the dude out of Home Alone, and I'll think they're the same person, just PG and R.
I always forget he's in Home Alone.
Dude, yeah. No, that's his best role. No, his best role is in Super.
Really?
The Super. Yeah. I'm just kidding. There's just a part where he's dancing in like somebody's apartment's full of people. He's like clapping and like dancing and stuff.
He's living his best life.
Yeah. No, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
I couldn't find anything about the people playing themselves. I'm very sad.
Thank you for that fun fact then. Jesus. Way to waste my time.
I am
Way to waste my time. Way to waste my time.
You ready for my Goodfellas reference? I'm sorry! That's after she tries to kill him, and she's laying on the floor, and she yells, I'm sorry.
Nice reference, buddy.
Listen, Michael, you're breaking my balls here. All right, what do you want from me?
I have a couple more fun facts about Tommy's character,
Mm-hmm.
or Joe Pesci's character, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
When Tommy was whacked, he wasn't shot, and like that was it.
Mm-hmm.
He was tortured to death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, he was tortured to death, and John Gotti was involved in torturing him to death.
John Gotti.
Goodfellas kind of represents the end of
Yeah.
gangster culture, I guess,
Yeah.
or like the end of that era where the mafia was like big, and John Gotti was the official last mobster, like last big mobster. So it's kind of cool. Like I was thinking about that yesterday, how Tommy was killed by John Gotti, and right when Tommy dies in the movie, that's when everything starts to go like really downhill. And it's like that's kind of cool how the last mobster, in a sense, because it's not. This is just my brain doing brain stuff. The last mobster brought upon the end of the
Evangelion.
Stop.
No, yeah, I thought one of my favorite parts about this movie just like is watching them steal stuff, because it's so easy. Like anyone could do it. Like there's no security cameras. Like the security's super weak.
Yeah, I know.
Like
nowadays you couldn't get away with any of it.
No one ever locks their car, so you can just like take it. It's just like it's so fun to just see how easy everything was to steal. I would love to be alive.
But I had a couple more fun facts. Oh, Tommy's mom. They're all about Tommy.
Yeah, I love how Tommy's mom is Martin Scorsese, though.
Yeah, Tommy's mom is Martin Scorsese's mom. It's awesome.
She's actually a great actor, too.
No, yeah, she's super authentic. And I remember watching a documentary in 11th grade or whatever, and honors American history, honors U.S. history. And it was about, like, right when World War II happened, a bunch of Italian immigrants came to America. And Martin Scorsese's mom was interviewed for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a weird coincidence.
No, I mean, it makes sense. That's why she's so authentic. I love it. Like, my favorite scene in the whole movie is when they just got done beating Billy Bats half to death.
And they kill him.
Well, not yet.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But they just got done beating him half to death. And then they go to Tommy's mom's house to get a shovel. And then Tommy's mom wakes up and they just have dinner with her.
Yeah, I love how much, like, they could be doing the most brutal thing ever. And they're like, hey, you want some food? And they just start eating like that. It's like...
It just shows that they're all nuts.
Yeah, they got a really tough stomach.
Yeah. And I was watching, you know the guy Michael Francese on YouTube?
It sounds familiar, but...
He's referenced in the movie. He was mobster who also went to witness protection. And now he has like a YouTube channel and stuff. And
oh, interesting.
No, yeah, I love his videos. But he was talking about how he never met Henry Hill. He didn't like that he was in the movie, or referenced in the movie, which makes me think he kind of met Henry Hill.
Yeah.
You know? But he didn't like that he was referenced in the movie. But he was like, I never met the guy, but I can tell you this. He was not, as, innocent as he made it seem in the book.
Yeah, when I was reading just now, looking for that thing, I guess there's like way more stuff that Henry Hill did like way worse, and they just like didn't put it in the movie.
No, yeah, that's one thing that bugs me about the movie is the movie does try to paint Henry Hill as like Mr. Medium Ground, where he has his wife who's not crazy.
Yeah.
And then his friends who are nuts. No, like, if he didn't like the life, I mean, I'm sure he could have left at some point.
Yeah.
Especially if people trust him. Like, at the end, it makes sense that he has to go state's witness or whatever. But it's because at that point, nobody trusted him. Yeah. If he left when people trusted him, yeah, sure, it might have been a little shady, but I feel like he was staying there for something.
Yeah, he was hooked in for sure.
Yeah, and it was his decision. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's all on him.
It's all about parking those Cadillacs. I mean, here he is, a little kid, and he can't even see over the steering wheel, and he's parking Cadillacs.
All right, let's see what else I got here. Yeah, I always forget that Samuel Jackson's in this movie. He has a small part, but he always catches me off guard. Mm-hmm. Because he's like doesn't have an introduction. He just kind of strolls into a shot, and then he's just like a character from then on out.
Yeah,
until
Stax.
They kill him. Stax, that's his name.
No, yeah, they're like Stax used to play the guitar at the bar, and then we just got him involved.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad for Stax. Jesus.
Poor Stax.
Poor Stax. Pray for Stax. Hashtag save Stax. But no, I mean, it's a star-studded cast.
It really is.
No matter if you know the person's name or not, you recognize basically everybody in the movie. They've all been something else, you know. I love the casting for Paulie.
Yeah,
because he looks intimidating, but not at the same time.
Yeah,
like he looks like a bulldog. You know, bulldogs are intimidating, but sweet. They're so cute.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh, so sweet. But just to close off, yeah, those are our fun facts. We'll have more fun facts about whatever movie we watch next. It's just been a hectic week.
Yes, sir.
And I don't have the Blu-ray for it yet.
So
this is really on Ian.
Oh dear.
This is all Ian's fault that we don't have.
Hey, listen here, pal.
Facts.
You're busting my balls, all right? I was working last night. I got home. I watched the stupid movie. It was like 12:30 when it ended.
You're calling it stupid?
I had to go to sleep for like 6 hours so you could come over here, and you're busting my balls. What do you want from me? It's your mother.
Oh, Mrs. Scorsese, it's nice to have you here tonight on this episode.
One dog's looking one way, the other dog's looking the other way.
And the guy's in the middle like, what do you want from me? Yeah, so what? They're facing east and west. What's wrong about that? Yeah, that's the end of the fun fact segment. Now we're going to talk about things we love about this movie.
All right. Wardrobe is spectacular.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, wardrobe is spectacular, but I hate those shirts they wear.
The ones with the long collars,
Yeah.
they're disgusting.
I hate
everything
them
except
so
those
much.
is fantastic.
No, yeah.
No, but I mean like in like a sense of like atmosphere, like all the clothes
yeah.
they wear, it's beautiful.
No,
but
it feels-
specifically the scene where they go harass the wig guy for the very first time when he's first introduced.
Marcy or whatever.
Yeah,
his name
he looks
is.
like Mr. Norton. So he looks like a
don't
short
do that
Mr.
to
Norton.
Mr. Norton, dude.
Nah,
He's the most annoying character in the movie.
Oh, I didn't mean it. Robert De Niro is wearing this
Maurice.
shirt. Yeah, like the
Maurice,
monkey in
that's
Planet
it.
of the Apes.
Yeah.
But Robert De Niro has this shirt that is fantastic. It's like white with like
That's
a
the
red
monkey in
stripe.
Friends.
There's a monkey in Friends. I don't watch Friends.
Dude, no, there's no monkey named Maurice in Planet of the Apes. That's the monkey in Friends.
Michael, I can swear there's a monkey in Planet
Dude,
of the
that's just the monkey in Friends, dude. It's the scene where the monkey presses play on the CD player, and then they all start dancing around.
I don't watch Friends. This is Maurice. He's the big orangutan in the new Planet of the Apes.
Shoot.
What were we talking about? Oh, the wardrobe.
The wardrobe, yeah. Jimmy was harassing Maurice.
I love his shirt in that scene. It's like white, and there's a red stripe down the center, and then red stripes around the sleeves.
Yeah, it's very, like, it made me think of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like they were going to start playing, like, synthwave music.
Yeah.
And he was going to get on, like, a motorcycle and drive to Miami. Which there's a line in the movie that I love where it's when Karen is getting her hair done by all the other mafia wives.
Oh, yeah. I know.
They're like,
exactly.
I'm from Miami. You ever been there? She's like, no. She's like, it's pretty nice. It's like you died and went to Jew heaven. It's okay. It's like you died and went to Jew heaven.
Yeah,
like, I love that so much. I wrote that in my notes. Just Miami died and went to Jew heaven.
One thing I want to add real quick is there's like a ridiculous amount of music in this movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If any other movie used this much music, it'd be like super overbearing and like
And
out of
cheesy.
place.
Really
but
cheesy.
somehow it just works so well with this movie. Like the scene where he's driving away from the helicopter that he thinks is following him. It's like literally like a song will like go on for its entire like in I want to say runtime. What the song will go through its entirety, and then it'll end, and another song will just start, and it's like so seamless, and like it works so well with the scene because like the tension and there's so much going on, and like he's making the food, he's picking up his brother, he's going to the store, he's trying to move the cocaine.
Tell Michael to stir the ziti sauce.
Don't let
so
the
it doesn't
sauce
thicken.
stick. Don't let the sauce stick.
But no, like there's a scene right before that where or not right before that. It's right before the Layla piano exits scene. Where they find all the dead bodies and stuff. But they're at the bar, and it's going from, like, I think it's Frosty the Snowman to that other, like, guitar song, because it zooms in on Jimmy, and you can tell he's, like, plotting to kill all these people, you know, and then it's quiet for a second, there's no music, but then they kill Maurice, and that immediately starts it off. Like, right after they kill Maurice, there's, like, that one scene where his wife goes to Henry's house, and then Layla plays, you know, and then it's just going through that epic montage of Layla playing while they find all these dead bodies, and it just gives me chills just thinking about it. That scene is so beautifully crafted.
So you know what the best scene is though?
What?
The
dinner scene.
Kitchen scene, yeah.
That's so overrated, dude.
Michael.
It's so overrated.
Absolutely not.
No, the one take is so overrated.
Michael.
There's so many more movies that do better one takes. All they had to do was...
No, it's not about the one take. It's a good one take. Okay, I take it back. It's not the best scene in the movie. I just really love it. Because it's such, like, a creative way to just, like, introduce his wife, who's his girlfriend at the time, to, like, his world.
Yeah,
like,
okay, I can see that.
And the color palette of that scene is so beautiful. They're going through the red hallway, and then it just opens up to the white kitchen, and there's all the red crates, and, like, it's all white and red. It's really pretty to look at, and I
thought you were going to start gushing over the fact that it's a one...
I love one takes. I mean,
I love one takes, but... Come on.
No, that one's, like, well crafted in terms of, like, extras, like, and, like, movement.
3 words.
But...
Children of Men.
Dude, that shot is actually really good, the one shot.
There's a couple in that movie.
Actually, you know what movie has the best one shots?
What?
I hate to say it.
Climax.
Yeah,
dude, Climax is nuts.
Yikes.
Oh my god, Climax
Don't ever
is
watch
crazy.
that movie.
Doesn't Irreversible have some good one shots too?
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen Enter the Void and Climax.
You haven't
Climax,
seen Irreversible?
I
Neither
genuinely
have I.
like, and Enter the Void is horrible. I mean, it's a good movie. It's just horrible to watch.
But yeah, the kitchen scene is really cool.
How did we get here?
We have to do that. But yeah, the kitchen scene is really cool. It's very visually pleasing. I'm just happy you didn't go off about it being a one take, because we would have had some issues.
But just the scene, that scene specifically, but just the movie in general has a really great color palette. I quite like it.
Yeah. Didn't Mr. Norton, because this is another movie that we watched in Mr. Norton's class, but didn't Mr. Norton pause the movie before the kitchen scene and be like, count how many shots there are, cuts there are?
I think so.
And then we went through it, and it was like 0.
Oh, yeah. I remember he had us count cuts and, like, shots for 3 O'Clock High. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, we need to do 3 O'Clock High on this podcast at least once. I'm looking at the poster right now. That's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's something.
We have to do Good Time as well.
Yeah.
Good Time could do for more one takes.
But yeah, back to I talked about this at, like, the very beginning. The passage of time is, like, super, super well done. I would say not as well as Synecdoche, New York. But that movie's on, like, a different level. That movie's depression. This movie's more, like, fun. Ooh, watch gangsters kill people.
Yeah.
But no, it's, like, really, really smooth. Like,
no,
I'd say the only cut that's, like, noticeably, like, time is, like, when he's a kid and then it just cuts to him as an adult. But that's more, like, purposeful in a sense. But it tells, like, so much over so long. It's, like, just as simple as, like, Robert De Niro, Jimmy, his character's name is, I think. Like, his hair just going white throughout the movie. And Joe Pesci even looks like he's aging.
I was talking to my mom about that yesterday. Like, do you think the only time his hair was the right color, I guess, was, like, before they went to jail?
Oh, maybe.
Like, before they went to jail the first time? Which, that scene... The visitation scene.
That's a great one.
Is so good. How she gets all mad and starts pulling baguettes out of her jacket and stuff. Have her bring this to you. Like, I love
you
that
have
so
me
much.
smuggle all this in for you.
No, that's a great scene. I love how the warden or whatever is, like, watching, but like turning around because he's getting paid to let him bring that stuff in. He, like, looks and then he turns around.
I love the scene where they're making dinner in the prison, and there's, like, it's completely, like, not prison at all. Like Ray Liotta's wearing, like, an Adidas jumpsuit, and he's just, like, hanging out. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk. And he just leaves. And they're making pasta, and
he has the razor. He's cutting up the garlic super thin, so it just melts in the pan.
Yeah.
I
Don't
remember.
you put too many onions in. You remember Kevin?
There's so many. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but there's so many great parts of this movie because Ray Liotta's narration throughout the whole movie is just beautiful.
Fantastic.
I love his narration. But what was I gonna say?
I don't know, but one thing on the narration while we're here is when it's the first scene that we were introduced to like his wife character and they're at the diner and she starts a narration that always catches me off guard and I always feel like I don't like it, but I think on this viewing I started to like it more because I don't know, I feel like it's like off-putting in a certain way, like, oh, this is going to be a main character from now on, and I think that's
it's
clever, I guess.
Yeah. I like it. I wrote down my notes that I thought it was cool.
And I think she has more narrations in the future, so it's not like just a one-time thing.
Well, does she?
I think so, yeah. When she's talking about how, like, all the wives and when they're at the wedding, she's like, I never met so many people named
I thought
Paul,
it just went... I thought it was just seamless from...
No. Because then there's the scene where he stands her up and then she goes and yells at him and there's another narration and then it cuts to later and then there's like a wedding and then
you're
like
right.
Yeah.
You're right. But what I was going to say about the narration, there's so many parts where Ray Liotta will say something about a character
and then
it'll immediately like be referenced like in the movie. I love that so much where he's like whoever, let's just say his name was Paulie or whatever.
Yeah, it was like Tommy two-time. Yeah. Because he always said everything twice, and he's like, I'm going to go get the check.
I'm going to go get the papers. And he's like, you know. But no, like, when they're talking about the sauce, he's like, let's just call him Jimmy for right now. Because really, everybody in the movie is named Tommy, Paulie, Jimmy. Yeah. And then Henry's just like an outlier, you know. Well, let's just call him Jimmy for right now. It's like Jimmy was in charge of the sauce. He... You know, it was pretty good, but he did put in a little bit too much onions. And then they're like, don't put in too much onions.
He's like, I only put in 3.
He's like, I'm not. Yeah, I love it, dude. It's, the narration is so good. It reminds me of Casino.
I still haven't seen that one.
You haven't?
No.
I kind of like parts of the narration better in Casino. I don't want to go into it because I'll spoil it. But there's one scene that's really crazy, and you'll know what I'm talking about, where a character is talking and then something happens and like it's kind of cool. Like the narration is almost in Goodfellas, the narration feels like it's him sitting on the witness stand talking about all this stuff, you know. In Casino it feels like that kind of as well, but in certain parts it's almost like the narration's just going off in the people's heads. You know, like it feels like they're talking to you, the audience, but in this scene, I don't want to get into it because I'll spoil it, but in this scene, it gets cut off because something happens to them in the movie, you know? So it's like, it's just his brain going off, you know? They're both great movies. Isn't Goodfellas part of like a trilogy almost?
It's
like
considered a trilogy.
Unconfirmed trilogy.
What is it? Goodfellas, Casino, and...
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a weird one. Wolf of Wall Street. I don't feel like that
really I think fits. It's just because they're all true crime.
I guess.
Because I don't want to say for sure, but I think every other movie Martin Scorsese has made has been like an original story. But Goodfellas is based on Henry Hill. Casino's based off of the Mafia in Las Vegas.
I disagree.
Are you going to tell me Hugo actually happened?
No, I was going to say... I had one in my head, and then you started speaking to me. Taxi Driver was real. The Irishman, that one was real.
That's true.
It's based off the book I Heard You Paint Houses.
Taxi Driver was real?
That was a joke.
I was about to say, what are you, stupid?
Gangs in New York may have been based on something I couldn't tell you.
But they...
Cape Fear's a remake.
You're right. So is The Irishman like an unconfirmed fourth part of the trilogy? Because it does follow the same structure as all the other movies, where
I always loved
the main character's narrating the whole time. You know?
I always loved how Jimmy in Goodfellas is Irish, and he's like, he keeps calling himself the Irishman, and then he's the Irishman, and I love that.
Yeah. No, Jimmy Conway, yeah. The Irishman, since we're on the subject, The Irishman, it's a pretty good movie. My grandmother really likes The Irishman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Can you sit through long movies?
Sometimes. It really depends on my movie. Like Blade Runner, I could sit down and watch like right now. Or 2049, and that's like 2.5 hours. I guess Goodfellas is the same length. Yeah, it really depends on the movie. The
I feel like
Irishman,
Mr.
I've only
Norton's
seen once.
I feel like Mr. Norton's class really prepared me for watching long movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll watch like a short movie, but it'll take 4 days to finish.
Yeah.
You know? So like whenever I watch a movie from Mr. Norton's class outside of his class, it feels like it just goes by like that.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why I'm able to watch stuff like The Irishman or An
Mm-hmm.
Elephant Sitting Still that are both like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't feel like anything because if I were in Mr. Norton's class, it would have taken a month to finish it.
For real.
Yeah.
The last note that I have was just the editing. I know I kind of talked about it briefly earlier with like the freeze frames, but
Yeah.
ooh, it's fluid. You just
No,
go
I
from scene to
usually-
scene, and it's so seamless.
I usually hate freeze frames in movies.
Me
I think
too.
they're so cheesy. That's
Me
like
too.
this movie takes a lot of stuff that I think is cheesy in other movies
Yeah.
and makes it genuinely good. Like it takes narration, which
Yeah.
in other movies narration's stupid.
Yep.
You know, but it makes it good. And then it takes freeze frames. In other movies, freeze frames
Yeah.
are the dumbest thing ever.
I
but it
always
makes it good.
hated freeze frames and slow mo, and this movie made me like freeze frames, and Rushmore and Drive made me like slow mo.
Yeah.
Because if you use it effectively, oh boy.
Yeah. No, for real. But and also the whole, and it's not like he's using like a score. He's using
Yeah.
real songs, and in other movies that's the dumbest thing. Like
Yeah.
I can't stand movies that take place in the 80s.
Donnie Darko.
Okay, but that's
Gotcha.
different.
I gotcha.
Shoot. I can't stand most movies that take place in the
Yeah.
80s. Even movies that were made in the 80s. I can't really stand it. I feel like a lot of directors, if they make a movie that takes place in the 80s, they blow off a lot of their budget on the songs that they're going to use, where they could have used that budget towards more important stuff for the movie. One thing I don't like about the movie, it's like one of the only things I don't like. I don't like the kid who plays young Henry Hill.
He's not horrible, but I could see
He's
not
yeah,
crazy
he's
about
not
him.
horrible. I'm not gonna say that he is, but oh my god, I can't tell if he's supposed to be crying or laughing most of the time. Like in the court scene where
Yeah.
Jimmy's like, "You learned 2 important things today: never rat on your friends and never, say anything." I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what he says.
keep your mouth shut. But I like
Keep your mouth shut and never rat on your friends. Or something.
I love the parallelism of that to the end of the movie. It's great.
No, it's fantastic. But the kid's sitting there, and it's like from over his shoulder, but you can still see his lips, and he's like, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
He's just licking his lips, man.
He's licking his lips. He's biting his lip. It's like, are you crying? And then he sniffles. He goes, like, are you crying, or are you just like unprepared to do the shot?
He didn't know they were rolling.
He didn't know they were rolling. He just thought he was getting genuine advice from Robert De Niro. He's like, bro, why are you talking to me about this? I'm an actor. Oh, we never talked about Kevin.
Oh yeah,
We
that's
need
the
to
big
talk
thing.
about Kevin.
All right, so we have this friend. His name is Kevin. He's a cute little lad, but he's not that big into movies, which is it's unfortunate because we're big movie guys. But
Yeah.
he ended up taking the film arts course we took in high school. He ended up taking that with us, probably as like easy credits or something. And every movie we watched, he'd watch them, but he never really had too much of an opinion on them, or he'd fall asleep. So when we watched Goodfellas, Kevin's like, "Oh, I love this movie." We're like, "You like Goodfellas, Kevin?" He's like, "Yeah, there's this pasta recipe, this spaghetti sauce that is really good." And so what had happened is he's really into cooking, and he used to like cook for his whole family, like for the meals and stuff. He might be doing something with cooking now. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, I miss him.
He had seen online this pasta recipe. He made the sauce and really liked it. So he just watched the whole movie because he liked the spaghetti sauce.
Yeah. I remember he fell asleep during class, and he like watched the movie to get caught up. Like that's what he would usually do is he'd fall asleep during class and then watch the movie.
Go home and watch the movie
that night. But he kept just watching because he wanted to get to the pasta scene. And then where we were in class, where we left off in class, was like way before that. It's like Oh shoot! I thought we got to the pasta scene already.
I remember at the end after we finished the movie, we'd be talking about like all like the editing and like how good the movie was, and Kevin would just be like, "But the sauce, it's good sauce."
But really, Goodfellas is one of those movies that personally I can watch it over and over and over and over again and never get bored of it because the acting feels so real. Mm-hmm. We didn't talk about Joe Pesci enough. Joe Pesci's performance is just hilarious. I love it.
Yeah,
it's terrifying too.
He's absolutely terrifying. I would never go near that man.
I find it really funny that Tommy's characters,
is short.
Joe Pesci, and the kid who played young Joe Pesci, they're the same height.
No, yeah, I thought that was funny too. I was like, did he just stop growing when he was like 13?
But yeah, I'm a big fan of film. And I'm a big fan of Mr. Norton. And Mr. Norton's film arts class got me to watch Goodfellas for the first time.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to watch it too, it's on Netflix right now.
In the U.S.
In the U.S. You NordVPN users. NordVPN, please sponsor us. That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. But yeah. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't know what you would call it.
I gave it
what you would give it.
10 out of 10 as well, fella.
You did?
It's such an experience, like, because we take notes during these, so we have some talking points for this podcast, and not even kidding, I think I took, like, here, you can count them on your hand. It's like 10 notes, because I just get so sucked into this movie.
Yeah, this movie...
It's, like, so immersive, and there's so much going on at once, and like, I've seen it before, but you're still rooting for the character, but you hate him, and it's like, there's so much going on at once. It's great.
One thing that I love about Robert De Niro's character, or rather, when he gets introduced in the film, Henry Hill is like, Jimmy Conway is the type of person who'd root for the bad guy in the movie. And that's all you're doing in this movie, is you're rooting for the bad guy. It's like, so, the movie breaks the fourth wall a couple of times, and I think that's one of the times where it's like, subtle that he's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
You know, we all got a little bit of a Robert De Niro in us.
Yep.
Yeah.
The movie kind of holds your hand, but at the same time, there's some aspects of the movie which just like, I don't know, figure it out.
It's not the type of movie. It wouldn't be good if it told you to just figure it out. It's not the type of movie that would be good if it told you to just figure it out. It's a perfect hold your hand movie because nobody's gonna relate to these guys. Absolutely nobody, unless you were in that life. Nobody's gonna relate to these guys. Nobody has held up trucks in the 70s. Who holds up trucks anymore? Nobody holds up trucks.
So I'm doing next Friday. You want to come?
Did you catch that, FBI?
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be the sole podcast host. The only one. I'm going to be the only one. Let's go.
Only be one.
But, yeah, nobody would understand what it was like to be a mobster back in the 70s. And that's why it's the perfect movie to not hold your hand. Because it's not like you can get into Henry Hill's mindset and be like, oh, I felt like Henry Hill before. This is what I would do. This is probably what's happening, you know? No, Henry Hill has to tell you, hey, we were a bunch of hooligans. We were a bunch of bad guys. And this is what we did. And it was glorifying everything they did. But at the same time, it's saying, and look how horribly it turned out for all of us.
And you do see, like, the horrible sides of it, like, with his drug addiction and his family falling apart.
That's something we needed to talk about.
Was what? The drug addiction?
After Ray Liotta's character gets introduced to drugs, you can tell visually, just by looking at him, that he's addicted.
I love his every time he walks into a room, he's, like, rubbing his nose like he just did coke. It's great.
Rubbing his nose, his eyes are just, like...
Yeah, his hair is, like...
his hair's messed up. He's super sweaty all the time. His eyes are, like, sunken in.
Same with that, the girl that was, like, his girlfriend's friend that he's now, like, kind of hooking up with and selling coke with. She looks so
first time you're
out.
Introduced to her, she's, like, not coked out.
Yeah, she's all, like,
and
make-upped and...
crazy. Yeah.
Like, later in the movie, especially at the end when she gets brought in. Ooh, she does not look too good.
Yeah. No, it's a wonderful experience. Like, the whole film, it feels like an experience. It feels like you're sitting here getting walked through the life of a criminal, which you are. But I've never seen anything that glorifies something so much, but at the same time makes it clear, like, this wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And this was bad, and they paid the price for it. you know? Like, the whole time, Tommy's character is just doing whatever he wants, and then he gets killed.
Yeah.
It's like, they even shot him in the head so his mother can get an open casket for his funeral. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that's messed. That's so sad.
Because his mom is so sweet. She's
His
like the
mom's
nicest
so
character in the
sweet.
whole movie.
His mom is...
That's something I kind of wanted
You
to
need to
talk
find
about.
a good girl, settle down.
Ma, I settle down every night. Do you think that she knew that he was like a gangster? Because like, you know, he's like, she kind of knows, and then like, but at the same time, he's lying to her about when he had to kill the guy. He's saying that there was a deer.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
then at
of
the
course.
end, she kind of knows that he's getting made, but I don't know if she necessarily knows what that means.
No, she knew.
Okay.
I'd say that she knew. It's just nobody wants to go out and tell their mother that they killed somebody. You know.
Because she just acts like nothing's wrong. Like, she's just so calm the whole movie.
And for a lot of the movie, nothing is wrong. For at least for Tommy, you know, because he was able to kill people and not have any consequence for it.
Yeah.
You know. One thing I want to talk about is Billy Bats had it coming.
Oh yeah.
Billy Bats had it coming, but Tommy needs to grow up. He's literally like, in the movie, like that scene. He's literally like a eighth grader, like
go get your shoebox.
He was asking for it, but nah, Tommy.
They're both
they're both bad.
Yeah,
both bad. And Atlantis by Donovan plays during that, and it's so I love the music choice in this movie.
And I love how it's set up too, because like you've seen Tommy snap like a few times before earlier in the movie, so like you really understand his character and you know where it's going the second he walks in and he's like, oh, I hate this guy.
It hits you by surprise, but at the same time it doesn't.
It's like you're like, you know something bad's gonna happen. You can just see him getting more and more angry, and you're just like on the edge of your seat. It's like Uncut Gems anxiety.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and you're like, oh, it's like a breath of fresh air. And then like the next scene he's back, and he just knocks him out, and just they all start kicking him.
The first time I saw it, I didn't realize that he said keep him here. You know.
Oh yeah.
But then when he leaves, he's like keep him here, and then he leaves. Like, and that's just something that's so crazy to me is like, the acting is so good. Billy Bats really sounded drunk, in you know, like he was loopy because he just got out of prison. He's celebrating. He's drunk. And then, oh my god, like it gives me chills thinking about how Robert De Niro was just like acting all buddy with this guy, and then the second Tommy comes back, they're both killing him. Like,
yeah, that's what
I didn't
Ray
want to get
Liotta
blood on your
says
floor.
later, that when they come to kill you, it's never like they come with like smiles and they're like as your friends.
Yeah,
and that's a horrible way to live.
That is a horrible way to live.
Michael could kill me at any point and I wouldn't know. He could whack me right now.
Yeah. And he wouldn't see it coming.
I wouldn't see it.
Like, even when Tommy does die, it's like he walks into the room and then he goes, oh no, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
You know, like, which in real life, we already went over this, he was tortured.
Yeah.
But no, like, cause what starts that whole monologue where he's talking about getting whacked? It's when he's pulling out of his driveway because they have to go get her lucky hat because she never flies without it. And they're pulling out of his driveway. And then he's like, for a second, I thought I was going to die. Like, I thought I was dead. But I realized that if it was part of the crew, they wouldn't have made any noise. I just would have been dead. Yeah. Like, I knew they were the police because they were making too much noise. Like, that is just so cool. Like, Ray Liotta's narration throughout the whole thing is just so cool and nonchalant. Yeah. I love it so much.
He's a good guy.
Another cool thing that I noticed about the movie, because I watched it with my mom yesterday, and she was pointing out, because like she was like, oh, I love that movie. I haven't seen it forever. Can I watch it with you? I was like, sure. But she was pointing out Spider is played by the dude who plays Christopher. I don't know if you watched The Sopranos.
No, I've been wanting to. It's actually made me really want to watch it.
Yeah, no, The Sopranos is great. But Spider's played by the dude who plays Christopher, and then Karen's played by the chick who plays his therapist.
Oh, that's Sopranos. Funny.
Yeah.
Isn't Spider's the guy that looks like Mitchell, right?
he has eyebrows, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the eyebrows and the nose.
Yeah. No,
he just doesn't have the hair.
I never thought of that, but I can see it.
And then actually, while we're here, quick shout out to the homie Mitchell for making the theme song.
Yeah.
What a banger. It's lovely. It's stylish.
It's really cute. Just like him. But no. We can't wait to put this up. But yeah. It's been a good week. It's been a good week, and here's to many more good weeks. If you had a good week and you know it, clap your hands.
I had a horrible week, Mike.
But no, remember to stay hydrated during these trying times. Keep yourself happy and healthy, and watch movies and videos, and watch our video, listen to our podcast, and text me when you get home, because I care about my audience.
Yes, that's
obviously.
Can I stop it?
No, we need to give one last goodbye. Goodbye on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Goodbye.